stay away from me.
Oh, this is all
until
right.
things cool down.
No.
Look at me.
You stood by me. I want to stand by you.
The worst that can happen right now is that you get hurt because of me.
Lord, we don't need that, please.
And you do this for your grandpa.
Oh, that's Grandpa.
If that's what you want.
Yeah, it is. For now.
Child, something happened to Sonny, that boy gonna go off. Oh, look at him. Jeez. Fix this. Oh, blow that straw off. Yeah, got you. Hello, neighbors. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody had a beautiful week. At least better week than I had. Shoot. Your cat lady had car problems yesterday, so sorry for no vids. But today, let's get into today's General Hospital. Alright, let's start with Ava. Today was her special show at the art gallery. She had her special guest there. It was all about the artwork around all the animals at baby stage. Emma was there. Pretty much a lot of people was there. Slick Rick showed up with Elizabeth. Cody was there dressing all nice and sharp. Ava was there. Trina looked nice in that dress, and she wore the right dress for today, honey. All three in this picture had game for the day. Okay, Cody was still on his game. Emma played her game. Gio did a beautiful move, and yeah, I was impressed. Alright, these two is hilarious, okay? The whole time they had the show, they're both going back and forth with the jealousy act and the whole show. So, Rick was pretty much Gumbo in Liz's hands the whole entire time, the whole show. Meanwhile, Ava is spotting all of that, so then she starts to do her little flirting with Cody. So then Elizabeth ends up at the end of the night, she kept her boundaries and kept it moving. She went on home. He ain't had to take her home. She's like, I got my way. He looks over to the room and see that Ava is over there flirting with Cody, and then decides to go over there and have a little talk with her. Do you think this is appropriate? And, you know, don't you think you should be nice to me? Excuse me, sir? Excuse me, Slick? First of all, you wouldn't have any money in your pocket right now if it wasn't thanks to Ava's plan. This is all Ava's plan. However, all of y'all gonna go down for jail time, but you wouldn't be able to spend a little something right now if it wasn't for Ava. So it's you who should have been nicer to her, not the other way around, because for once, Ava ain't got shit to deal with this, okay? It was Christina. She got the proof, and any old time she feel like it, she could really drop it. And I wish y'all would, because something gotta end. Meanwhile, Cody is spotting and eye-eyeing them the whole entire time. So he came with a nice plan of, let me go over there and make some small talk with Elizabeth. And yes, that worked like a charm, because once Slick Rick saw that, he hurried up and got his way over there to be the super glue to her the whole entire night. That's why Cody ended up in Ava's hands. Anyway, Ava did make it known that sir, Elizabeth is playing you like a fool. Meanwhile, you're putty into her hands, and soon as she walks away, she treats you like dirt when she don't need you. So maybe you should be nice to me. She said something about, because you would, if without me, you would have been just some lost lover boy or something like that. No, lost schoolboy in love. He was like, you know what, I'm about to leave before we say something that we wouldn't mean and all that good jazz, and hurried up and walked away. Yeah, you ran. You ran from Ava. But Cody overheard the whole conversation. And by the way, I did catch yesterday that he said that Ava's not so bad. Don't play with me. Are y'all about to let Cody fall in love with Ava for real? Do y'all like them together for real? Do they look like they will last? I mean, at least he's older than 21. And look, we got to see Aunt Stella today. However, Aunt Stella and Portia might end up both out of the hospital, okay? Because Aunt Stella over here did a little bending to the rules for Marty over here and his medical bills. Yeah, turns out she did something nice and slick on the paperwork and got him approved for all this therapy that he's doing and all that for his back injury from a 2-second fall from off the little 1 foot of a step. Yeah, we're here. Okay, no whatever. It brings a hospital story. That's what we got. Okay, so Marty over here, he just praising her praise and giving shout outs because he was talking to Laura and he was like, you know, if it wasn't for all this medical bill being paid and everything, I wouldn't feel so good and all. Laura like, something you need to tell me? Yeah, Laura, your brother is broke. Didn't he tell you that? He has no money and obviously no real good clients. So, you know, here's a little scrap for change. So Aunt Stella pulled him to the side real quick and was like, listen, bro, you won't have to keep it down on my praises because I did a little something just to get you improved, okay? You weren't really supposed to be approved, but because I did a little something for you, it got approved. So it's best if you keep it between me and you. He was like, okay, no problem. He's like, but however, if it did come to that, trust me, I would defend you with everything in me. Alright, we're going to keep that in mind, Marty, because you might need to represent her and Portia. Oh, man, this whole story with Marco Polo all of a sudden going for revenge for Sonny is outstretched, but I knew they had to turn him against him somehow. They had to make Marco Polo fold just enough to fall for his father in actions. But, yeah, this is where we at. So, Lucas called Marco Polo to the hospital so he could collect his mother's belongings. As they were standing there talking, a whole bunch of reporters and Ezra walked up. Ezra was busy trying to turn this whole event, the hating campaign of Sonny. He's like, you know, don't you blame Sonny Corinthos for what happened to your mother? Isn't it true that they held him for 24 hours and let him go for no reason at all? Isn't it true that the mayor is too weak? Like he was just, you know, doing his antics. And Michael, for 2 seconds with all the cameras all up in his face, he was like, listen, pretty much me and my family do not like you. And we don't approve of your message. And I don't do all this political bullish. And if you keep coming at me, I'm going to come at you. Got it? Capiche? Okay, get out my face. That's pretty much what Marco said to him. Ezra had the dumb look and had to go running off. Yes, thank you very much, because Laura was walked up. He was trying to get her all into the game. Oh, don't you want to say Sonny is a criminal and this and that and third? I just wanted Laura to just bust out. If Marco was going to go along with Ezra, I wanted Laura to bust out with like, well, I know for a fact that your father, Sidwell, held my children for like, she could have just went on and just announced those allegations as well. But she didn't. She told Ezra that she wasn't going to stoop to his level and to get out of her face. And then once Marco said what he said, he went running. However, Marco turned to her because Laura was all like, oh, thank you for that. I'm so glad that you could see him for the man that he is. And Marco just went in. He was like, yeah, too bad you can't see what Sonny is, the man that he is. Marco, how about your daddy? He's bigger than Sonny. When you gonna wake up and see that? And Lucas, child, you traded one lover for the next bad one. You just sure can't pick them. Okay. However, Laura's like, listen, me and Sonny is family, so, you know, I hold him accountable for the things that he actually did, and by law and the evidence, he has nothing to do with this. So, Marco's like, yeah, well, we all know that he really did, and I'm going to prove it. And the fact that you're friends with him or call him a friend, shame on you. Well, shame on you, Marco. Once all the dirt of your daddy come out, shame on you. Shame on you about your mama. Shame on you about your daddy. I don't feel sorry for you at all. Bye, Marco. Sorry, Lucas. Child, this storyline is a hot mess. Okay, so Felicia did find Jacinda. However, Jacinda went missing. That's probably thanks to Drew. And so Curtis was like, yeah, we ain't going to be able to find her because it was Drew. they having a conversation. Of course, Trina's new man, Bert, is outside of the damn door and overhears that. So when he steps in to knock in, he's like, "Can I speak to you, Mr. Ashford?" And Curtis just gave him a look like this. You know right then that he hurt you. So yes, Felicia left. Kai went and told him that it was him that told Drew, and Curtis was trying to explain himself like, you don't know what's really going on. And then all of a sudden Drew comes in. "Oh, you over here trying to manipulate Kai? Of course I know what's going on." Sir, you think you hold the cards, but wait until it comes crumbling down. Anyway, they end up the episode with the fact that Drew was like, "Listen, in order to save your wife and everything else, all I want you to do is run this ad to the paper and say all these things about Sonny and post the timeline between him and Natalia, and then you and your wife will be safe." Who believe that? I don't. Don't trust him. But of course, Curtis is doing it. And I just gotta say, is Portia worth all this trouble? Yeah. This is why Trina wore the best dress, because she looks great for a breakup. Curtis did tell Kai, "You need to go tell my daughter and explain to her." You ain't gotta explain to me, but you're gonna have to explain to her. Now, we all know damn well when he goes and tell that girl that he betrayed her and her entire family and threw them under the bus, it's a bye-bye, Kai. So, who's happy, who's not? I am. See your eyebrows? Kai. I am. Today was busy. It was a lot of moving parts. Anyway, these two got to meet and bump into each other, okay? Jordan was on a mission. She went down there to the gallery and saw Portia and told her that she had a conversation with Curtis, and from now on, they only going to see each other at family events or when they cannot avoid it. Of course, Portia was like, "Oh, that's so nice. He must have ate that up like gumbo." And then we both know that's not gonna happen. So, is this fight over or just beginning? And do we really want to see this repeat? And if so, who's team Portia and who's team Jordan? Well, Carly did what Lucas asked her, and she went down there to the house. She done chewed him, and Sonny and Jason out. She's like, she showed up. She's like, "Yeah, I'm trying to stop you from making the same mistake and protecting our children." So Sonny was like, "This is none of your business. I need you to stay out of it." She said, "No, the hell I ain't. Yes, it is my business because it's our family, and I know how you are." She looked at Jason. Jason had to say one word. "Well, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing." So, she goes to explain to him that this is not the way that you do it. Marco saved Christina. You don't do repaybacks by taking him out. You know that Sid was doing nothing but trying to trap you, make you angry, make you make moves. You're falling for his trap. Don't. This time, stop and think and come up with a better plan. One that will protect the whole entire family. Because we already had incidents with Michael, the pop out to the head, the jail thing, the burnt up. Then we got Christina almost burnt up and kidnapping she mentioned. So yes, we had a lot of things going on with everybody. And everybody that we love and know. How about you take this chance and actually do something different? Jason gets a call from Michael, so he had to leave. So he leaves him with Carly. Carly hits Sonny below the belt with the Morgan mention. Yes, we had Morgan name. Now listen, don't think I ain't been paying attention. There's been a whole lot of Morgan talk for the past 2 years. And recently, the actor made some type of questionable post on Instagram or something like that. I would not be surprised, just like they surprised us when he came back as a ghost or whatever that was, that he'll pop up. Because I know when this whole story first started, the original thing that Brit found out that the person that was originally coming for Sonny was a young guy. Okay, a young man. That was the original top story. We all know GH like to rewrite stuff and change stuff and take things out since then. But that was the original thing. If they keep that like that, then I would not be surprised that Morgan came for Sonny and he just don't have a memory who he is. But she did. She threw his name in. She was like, think about how we felt after Morgan's death. She was like, I thought about if I could just have one moment to change something, that I would. This is the moment. This is your time to do something different. Then they got interrupted because Gio came over. Gio came over because he heard Sidwell conversating with Jordan at the gallery about trying to set Sonny up and publish all the facts or evidence of Natalia case and try to make it seem like it was him. He was like, we need to show that he had a plane ticket, that he was planning on sending her away. That's probably why she did what she did, because she knew what was waiting for her. All that Gio overheard at the gallery, so he came running to Grandpa to tell him. Sonny asked him what was the visit for. He was like, I need to talk to you. I was at Ava's gallery. I overheard what Sidwell said. He said blah, 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 blah. And as he trying to get it out, Sonny just starts yelling, stay out of it. I need you to stay out of it. So Gio giving him a look like, but why? He's like, I need you to stay away from Sidwell and anybody else who talking about me. And matter of fact, I need you to stay away from me. Of course, Gio was giving this boy. Oof. I felt it. I felt like it was real. I was like, dang, man, his real grandson? First of all, when he came in, he said, Grandpa. Oh, okay. Next, so he was like, why? He was like, if somebody's coming after me, you will protect me. So why can't I protect you? Girl, really? Oh. Sonny tries to explain to him that when he was a young man, he did some questionable things and made a lot of mistakes that he cannot back out of. He thought that all those mistakes will only come back on him, but it has not. It's been coming on to his children and everyone else that he loved. So he was trying to also tell him that's what Tracy was doing when she didn't want you to sign a trust fund. Bing, bing, bing. You do have a trust fund. Okay, so he was like, and he said, I don't like Tracy's ways, but it was the truth. She was trying to save you. Gio was like, no, she was just trying to control me. He's like, no, she was trying to save you. And you have to listen to her. So you have to stay away from me just for the time being until all of this blows over. I don't know when it's going to blow over, Sonny, and I don't think that you're going to be sticking around. Because I really feel like this is a whole big setup for your retirement. Or something, because you barely can stand up as it is. But Gio was like, I don't like this. I don't want this. Somebody coming after you. They got to go through me. He's like, no. He's like, do this for your grandpa. Now you done hit him with the grandpa. Y'all fight dirty. So he looked at him. He was like, fine, if this is what you want. Went to go walk away, turned around, gave him a hug, and then left. Oh, the way he left, crying, God, even Sonny did a couple of blinks himself. Yeah, he got you too, right, son? You better fix this and fix this fast. Because this right here is making everything worse. So, Michael called Jason. Of course, Sasha wants to bounce. She wants to move. She wants to get out of Port Charles. She thinks that's the best way to keep the baby safe. Why can't we have cameras? Well, I know, Michael, that it traumatized you because you saw Willow and Drew on the floor, but man, bro, you can't put a little camera in the hallways. You can't even just put an extra nanny. What happened to all the nannies they used to have, huh? You can't put some extra nannies to sit with Daisy 24/7 with if Sasha not there or yourself or something like that. No, we don't come up with none of them plans. We come up with, we got to get out of Port Charles. Great. So he was like, all right, well, he offered for himself to go with Sasha. She was like, you got Wiley and Amelia. I said, see right there? This is your chance. You could have fixed it. If Willow had some kind of custody, then you can just go back and forth between both and protect everyone. But now we here now. So he was like, all right, if I can't go, I got the next best thing. That's why he called Jason. He know how to disappear. Anyway, so Jason came on there. He heard all of what they had to say. They was telling him something is fishy going on and happening to Daisy, and Sasha needs to leave Port Charles to be safe. Jason just looked at Michael and said, "Are you good with this?" And he was like, "I trust Sasha and this is the best." So he's like, "All right, when do you want to leave?" Yeah. So y'all know it's summertime, so all these actors always take certain type of stories so they can have time off. So maybe this is just going to be for her time off. It's fine. She's not really needed right now. You know, all she's going to be needed for a little cat fight with Willow. No, that's fine. If she takes Daisy and they get out of there, then Willow probably just crash. If it takes them some time for her to leave, then maybe they will catch Willow in the act. So as soon as Sasha leaves and takes Daisy to the house to feed her, well, she was like, she's going to be in my room every night until we leave. I mean, you could have just did that. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, soon as she walked off, Michael had a meltdown. He was like, "I don't know how I'm going to do this. How I'm going to do this. I won't see her first time walk. I won't hear her first words and this and that and third." So Jason had to explain to him that he too had to walk away from Danny and Jake. So, you know, he knows how to feeling. He said it doesn't get any easier each time you do it, but it was necessary. He said, "But this time it's not your fault." Well, Jason, I was thinking about that. It's not technically his fault, but it is his situation still, because the person who's messing with Daisy is Willow, and Willow is only messing with Daisy because she said the other day, "Meanwhile, my arms are empty." And that sounds psycho, and that sounds just like her mama Nina, Nell, grandmama. The whole bloodline takes kids. They take your kids, y'all. So Michael explains to Jason that he made a promise to Sasha that he would never be like his father and try to do any type of controlling with custody and all that. So he would have to honor his promise. He was like, "I just didn't think it was going to come this soon." Well, sorry, y'all two better get your heads together and figure this ish out, because it's as simple as security and cameras. Hello? And Emma freaking Drake, so special. She's so special. So these two sees each other at the gallery, and Emma walks up and she's starting to push Jocelyn to hurry up to figure out what the professor is going on with these testing of the animals and all that. So Josh is like, "Listen, I ain't getting nowhere because he's not letting me anywhere near the lab," which Emma should know because he ain't wanted you near the lab. So she was like, pretty much like, "Well, you need to find a way to get there because he's doing something and I can't wait any longer." So Josh was like, "I'm not explaining my job with you. Okay, get out my face." So Emma was like, "That's all right. I just came to say goodnight and, you know, I'm on my way to meet Vaughn." Gave her a look. She's like, "That, you don't mind about that, right? Because you're done with him, right?" Josh gave her a jealous look, of course, but I could see that she probably sliced her head off with her eyes. She's like, "Have fun, Emma." She's like, "Oh, we will." And just walked off. Who's for this? Because I could have sworn Emma was pushing towards Gio. I guess not. Or was it? Yeah. Anyway.